Why hello there, fellow K-Leg scrappers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 13, On the Hunt for Reactor Components. I think I am going to actually ditch all of my objectives. Mostly because I'm not really all that interested in pursuing them for this series. So, like, I got better time, better things to do. So these videotapes are getting trashed. I'd rather have the space for, like, things that we need going forward. Okay. Yes. So let's go ahead and check the state of the ship right now. And as you can see, our power is remarkably low. So I am heading back to K-Leg to recharge. The next part of my plan. Actually, I'm in this pod. I can take off my helmet. The next part of the plan is to revisit some of the sites that we've gone to in order to grab the things we need. So if we take a look at the notes here, we have, at the moment, 1 pellet feeder and 1 laser array. And just a little reminder, open up the fusion. You can have multiple laser arrays and pellet feeders. But with that said, you only really need 1. But if we head over to... So I don't really care about the broken field coils. Doesn't matter. EKS0C, which is where we just came from, has the orange wave floors, and we're going to want to return to there. But I think what I want to do is I want to make a quick jaunt over to Jazznum, the JAZNM, for the MHD. And the reason for this is MHDs are, like, rather rare to find. So grabbing an MHD would be terrific. Even if it is broken, doesn't really matter, I would need one. The other thing we could do is to see what's on sale at K-Leg, see what's on sale at the flotilla, and buy the parts we need. Because I suspect we are going to make a lot of money just selling the salvage that we have. So I don't really need to worry too much about making buckets of money. I already have 200k, and I'll pick up high-value pieces of salvage wherever we go. So as you can see above my head, the priority is to get a fusion reactor up and running, and one of the big reasons for that is so that we have a continual source of power. I could add more batteries, but for reference, traveling from where we are now over to Ceres, so this is like the solar system, the sun's in the middle, then you have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth, asteroid belt, etc., etc. So we're right here on roughly in the sphere of influence of 1036 Ganymede. And if we want to go to Ceres, it's over here. It's basically on the opposite side of the whole solar system. And the reason that matters is it's a rather lengthy trip. And we're going to need like all of the supplies required to physically get there. And the reason I'm mentioning this is I want to make the improvements to the ship so that we can survive such a travel. What? Just another pilot. Got it. Alright, so we're heading back to K-Leg, top it up with batteries. And then I don't know where Jazzen is, the point of interest that we want to hit up. But alternatively, what we could do is we could hop from SIP signature to SIP signature that says they have reactor components, and just start to piecemeal a reactor together. Alright, so we were on the opposite side of Ganymede, so we had to kind of do this hook maneuver here. If we rewind time, you'd be able to see that. Or look backwards, I should say. It's not really rewinding time. Alright. killing our cross velocity and bringing it into K-Leg. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out what the fence and the vendors have for sale in order to cut down on the shopping list. I don't really mind spending money on like pristine wholesaled parts or vendored parts. It seems kind of fine to me. The other thing we're probably going to do back on K-Leg, which is going to cost us a little bit in like docking fees, is probably take a quick rest because character's a bit tired. All right, bring it into dock, and cheers. Whoop. Adjusting during time acceleration is unwise. Luckily, I'm not traveling very fast, so I hit K-Leg, but like not in. There was no damage or anything. Sorry, K-Leg. Just playing bumper cars. All right, what's in my dolly? So the old Weber torch. And then floors and a few walls. Got it? So I am going to pick up this stuff. Because why not just, you know, clean up the station? And I'm pretty sure this is Franklin's stuff. So if we go to the home page here and then go to the space book, which is like space Facebook, Franklin Griffin is dead, the person we saved. My guess is he kept his like pressure suit helmet on and just killed himself, because they do that. All right, this backpack is going to be Hunter's bag, so I don't accidentally part with it. Hunter suit, Hunter's helmet, Hunter's torch. Okay. And we'll sell the other bag because I'm not looking to collect bags at the moment. So this backpack and all of its contents sold. In the bartering hall, I'm keeping the... so I'm going to keep the IR and the Hydras. And I don't think there's anything in the dolly we wanted to part with. That's fine. All right, let's also pick this one up and sell it as well. And this was Franklin's, I think. I don't even know. It's being sold all the same. Nope, that's my bag. Let's not sell that. There we go. All right, paying the docking fees. Let's pay for refueling, repowering, and then I'm going to probably have to repower multiple times. This bill is a little bit higher because I am refilling my hydrogen tank, which is on the ship, which is why it was a bigger bill than usual. I'm still bumming like station water. And grab a little bite to eat, check out the vendors, and then go to sleep. I'll go for the... you know what? Let's do cheap food today. Some noodles. It's not super cheap food. I mean, I could be eating the garbage level stuff. So, could be worse. Yeah, two in-game days have passed, and I'm just gloriously productive. That is pretty much correct. All right. So they have a reactor fuel regulator and an MHD. Got it. I'll buy both and repair it. So we don't necessarily need to go fetch that MHD. They also have a bunch of loose wall parts of the mobile space system that we like. So I'll send that as well. Actually, you know what? Let's reset this. So in order to make this a little bit easier, the fuel regulator and the MHD I'm going to buy here on the ground. Yeah. And then the floor and the walls I'll send to the barter zone because I don't need to bring those in. All right. Cool. So as far as the ship components go, let's just review that real quick. We have the field coils. We have the 4 reactor core segments. We now have an MHD. We have at least 1 pellet feeder. It's really easy to find more. We have the 1 fuel regulator. I have 1 laser. I do not have the laser capacitor. I do not have the cryo pump, cryo tank, heavy water tank. And then we're going to want more than the 1 helium tank. We're going to need at least 3 helium tanks, I would say. So for the MHD, we need motherboard. And what these parts do, the fuel regulator regulates the fuel flow. So basically the way the reactor works, it doesn't really help me to show you it because I don't really have one. But you have a pellet feeders which feed pellets of fuel into your reactor with the fuel regulator. And then the laser array causes fusion. And then the MHD allows you to siphon the excess power to recharge your batteries. So the MHD is actually an optional thing to add to reactor, technically speaking. But realistically, you're not going to keep the lights on your ship for like a week of interstellar travel without an MHD because it's not reasonable to install like 25 ship batteries on your ship to do it otherwise, when you could just have 1 MHD. And then the cryo pump and core pump are technically optional as well. The cryo pump prevents your reactor from overheating, and the core pump allows you to purge your reactor core of excess fuel, because if too much fuel gets in there, it could explode. But those are optional, but like I will be adding them absolutely because it's stupid not to. Okay, so we need to buy motherboard, 8 electronic, and 1 scrap steel. Got it. Let's do that. Motherboard. 8 electronic. They have 9. And 1 scrap steel. Done. Repair. Is fuel consumption fixed or proportional to usage? Proportional to usage. Fuel consumption is proportional to how much thrust you're giving it, how heavy your ship is, if you're in the gravitational wells of stuff. So it is not just a fixed cost, like pay 10 to get to Venus, pay 20 to get to Mars. It is completely dependent on the size of your ship and how fast you are burning with G-forces. And we'll get into that. I don't want to get into that now because it's not immediately relevant. All right. It will be confusing until I'm actually functionally doing it. All right. The MHD is repaired. I'm just restoring a little bit. And this thing needs... no, just don't try to repair the person. My God. That'd be weird. This needs motor, motherboard, 2 heat sinks. And because it requires more things than can reasonably fit in my inventory, I'm just buying them in batches and putting them on the ground. 3 mechanical, 1 electrical, aluminum, and carbon fiber. Three mechanical, 1 electrical, aluminum, carbon fiber. Definitely cheaper to buy broken and repair it yourself. What are you equipping? Why did you put your helmet on? Oh, you know what? He might be trying to travel to somewhere weird. Oh, crap. I sent that to the ship. That's why. Yep, no, Hunter was correct. So the reason why he's putting his helmet on is the parts I need to repair it, I accidentally sent to the barter zone, and I need a helmet to get to out here. So this was sort of the, hey, let's not let you auto-suffocate. Stopping me from, you know, killing myself or whatever. Alright, pick up. And... cool, done. Thank God for airlocks. Okay. That's another 2 pieces off the checklist. Why did time slow down? We'll get these installed. Alright, we're gonna want to restore them as well so they don't break down. Yes, K-Leg now has new airlocks. They have 1, 2, 3 airlocks. Most places have multiple airlocks. I think even the flotilla might have 2. Maybe. But it allows you to spacewalk while on K-Leg, which is, like, glorious. Because before you couldn't, and now you can. So you can actually manage your ship construction much more easily now. A fantastic change, to be sure. Alright, helmet on. Pick up the MHD. Go to the visor zone so I can actually see what I'm doing. And don't worry, I will at some point be adding lights to this thing. I'm not going to keep it dark forever. And let's get the full reg. All right. I'm not going to bother installing it right now. Cool. Dora, thank you for the resub. All right, let's check out more of the vendors. There's a lot of other things we're going to want to install, but I'm going to focus on the fusion right now. And then if I find other parts on salvage trips, I'll grab them. Like toilets, beds, that kind of stuff. You know, refrigerators, etc. But that's not the focal point for me right now. Other things we're going to need is the long planning module. I could do a manual burn, but they're quite difficult to do. And I don't actually see one of the long, the flight planning module being sold here. Map, target data controls, control toggle, warnings, transponder, time zoom, torch drive module, flight dynamics, map. Yeah, so we're absolutely going to need one of those. Copy that. Good to know. Let's check the scrap dealer one more time. And then we'll go back out to the boneyard. And this, okay. It's 6 in the morning. By 1 p.m., new inventory will be shown here. So it's entirely possible. And I think the timing for the supplies over here is the same. I'll double check. So it's entirely possible for us to gain access to additional stuff. Yeah, 1 p.m. Got it. Alright, let's take a little bit of a rest. So if I sleep for 6 hours, it's basically 1 p.m. And that will work. Maybe I'll do a little bit of restoring the ship's hull, and then we can check what the stores have. All right. Sleeping? Dismiss. So we have like half an hour before the stores refresh. And what I wanted to do is freshen up with water. Oh, that's not a sink I am allowed to access. Got it. All right, roster. Back to work. Yeah, I got a full 6 hours. Yep. All right, I freshened up. We'll go for a bit of... oh, are you dead too? You're unconscious. Why are you wearing your helmet? So a lot of people speculated that there's like a hole here at K-Leg. There isn't. They're just dumb NPCs. Like, there's no damage here. K-Leg has perfect atmosphere. It's just this guy is, I'm gonna try to save his life. He's just wearing a suit, and I'm sure his suit is, like, out of, filters. Inventory. Yep, his suit's battery is out of juice. In fact, my suit's battery is pretty low on juice. So he was suffocating in his own suit because it ran out of batteries, and the NPCs aren't brilliant or even smart, so he was... That's what did him in. I just pulled the suit off of him like any good person would do, and hey, look, I'm even grabbing a spare battery. I'll give it to him. Yeah, you can do a lot of, like, messing with. The battery is not needed to breathe in a suit, no? Yes. So, the opposite of no. When your suit runs out of battery, you die if you keep your helmet on. I forget how to give him this. He can figure it out. Put him down. It's not my problem anymore. I did what I could. Alright, I'm gonna want another bite to eat. And then I'll do some, like, just restoring of the ship while we wait for the stores to change over. Because there's plenty of broken stuff on this, this here ship that I can repair for, you know, half an hour. And eventually we're going to get better at it. Oh, also tools. Charge is fine. The biggest reason to keep things in good repair is when you're just generally flying around, you have some wear and tear. And if you have a piece that was really low durability or condition, and it breaks, if it's floors or walls, they rupture. And you can use the patch kit, but it will... you know, it will vent out your atmosphere, and if you're not wearing a suit at the time, that's not going to be a pleasant experience. Yeah, the ship is dark. The thing is, if I put on the mass or pressure visualization, it doesn't really matter. So I'm taking out the price viz. So, visor, pressure, default. Right? Now I'm in my visor pressure default, and like, hey, I turned on the lights. right? Doesn't... That's why I'm not too concerned. I will, like I said, be eventually putting in lights into the ship. But my focus is above my head. If it isn't written there, I don't care. I think is the most aggressive way I could say it. I work on what I want to work on, and if I'm not working on it, it's because I don't want to. Okay, the star will turn over in... I think just has. So let's wrap this up and head back inside. Did you die? I don't even know. It's not my problem. Alright. So, scrap dealer. What you got for me now? You've got turbo pumps, hardened antenna. So they do have a pellet feeder and another MHD. I could use a pellet feeder, but I'm sure I'm gonna find one. So like I'm not worried about that. So I'll buy more of the, because they're cheap, the more of the floors and walls I like. And the orange ones too, and send them to the barter zone. Doesn't cost very much. And I'll check supplies as well. I don't need to bother checking the sundries, because the sundries doesn't really have anything I'm looking for. Also, while I'm here, let's buy a small flask, because it's very unlikely I'm going to find one. Course plot. There we go. That's what I needed. The course plot module. There might be other modules I'm missing as well, but I know for certain I needed the course plot to actually plot courses, so we bought that as well. So let's go ahead and stick the flask in my bag and take a sip because I'm thirsty. And then put the course plot into our nav station. Yes, I do have a torch drive module. And really what you need to do a torch burn is torch drive module and a course plot module. Technically, you don't even need the course plot, just the burn module. But plotting a course is really nice. So, let's see. Edit. I never use controls. So let's rip the controls out and put the course plot in. And now this allows us to plot courses on a torch burn. I'm not going to go over the details about that, but allows you to do manual burning with these here and then plotting here. Or actually, this is torch burn planning. This is basically a planning tool for transfer burns. And then your manual torch burning is here. Again, I'm not going to cover it right now. We'll get into it. Realistically, it makes more sense to have the long-range plot here. Actually, let's move all the torch burn stuff to the right. So drives there, reserves back up there. And technically, you don't really need the transponder module. Because it's not, like, your transponder's still working, even if it's not on your HUD. I do want sensors, so where is this going to go? Sensors. I'm so used to warnings being up here. Quite the Jenga. I might pull my transponder off. Because again, it's street legal even without one. You can think of it as like having the VIN displayed like on your dashboard or something. It's not necessary. Okay, good enough. Cool. Alright, let's pay for a battery charge and pay for the whole mooring and everything because we were here a bit. And then we'll head back out into the boneyard looking for the parts we need for a fusion drive. And Radlocker, thank you for the cheer. How many ship batteries do I have? 2? Maybe what I'll do is I'll look for ship batteries while I'm out there as well. I think that would be a not bad idea. So taking a look, if I'm going to pause the game for a second. That probably has some... That might actually have a Hydra. Let's go there, even though that doesn't have a fusion reactor. Because getting a second Hydra would be nice as well. So we have more fuel reserves. Like, RCS fuel reserves. That looks like a race boat to me. Plus, I probably want to add more thrusters. I'm going to wait until I have, like, an actual, you know, ship built. But that's in the plans, too. Alright, helmet on. While we do our transit burn. Find some busy work. So I believe I have the damage visor in. Here's power level. I was cycling through them. Yep, here's damage. So as you can see, the newer section is slowly getting repaired up. So that we're not going to fall apart. Hello. Tracking mode ship. Zoom. I wanted to figure out where I was. Okay, we're 12 kilometers away. Hop back into the nav, and I'm getting ready to park. I will, at some point soon-ish, need to swap out my oxygen tanks. I do have a spare bottle on me, because I know I'm down to 28%. But that's not urgent yet. So this is the EBX2. Coming in to dock. I was considering polling you guys whether you think I should rename my ship. Should I rename my ship? Yes or no? Nothing like writing up a poll while I'm like actively docking with another ship, but you know, whatever. I'm doing it safe. We're coming in nice and slow. So polls up. This is the Salted Razor Girl. And hey, intuition was correct. It was a race boat. There is another Hydra. The really weird sort of like long looking ship types for reference are almost always race boats. I wouldn't say they're almost always race boats, but they're very commonly race boats. There's also a nav station here that I'll scrap as well. And I'm scrapping the walls so that I can gain materials to be able to repair the nav. What are you doing? The fuel regulator needed carbon fiber? No, because I fully restored that. I am super confused. Alright, we're missing a heatsink for that. That's fine. I'll just grab it for now. The other thing I could do is I had mentioned wanting more ship batteries, and there happens to be 2 here with that Hydra. So let's grab them. Pick them up, and I will temporarily install them. This isn't a permanent spot, but just to increase how long we can be out before recharging. Stick them on here. I'm also going to immediately restore them so they're not like a fire hazard. So the charge going down is because I'm repairing the ship battery. Oh, this battery has never broken before. So parts that have never ever broken before are pristine, and they're worth like 10-15% more or something like that. Alright, let's get this one. And get the Hydra as well. Is it worth having a bank of batteries even if I have a reactor? No. Everything has weight. The heavier you are, the worse your fuel economy and thrust is. So having batteries, some batteries is smart, because you need power to turn on your reactor. But having a giant bank of batteries is dumb, because it weighs a lot, takes up a lot of room, and does a whole lot of nothing for you. Alright, and I'm just taking this nav so that we make more money. Plop it back there. I haven't checked the shelves here yet. I can do that. Some patch kits. A screen. More of the videotapes and pills. Thermostat. Alright, let's take the Hydra. I'm not ready to add thrusters to my ship, so I'm not even going to bother with the thrusters right now. Thrusters do make money, but they're kind of dime a dozen, so I'm not at all concerned about that. Alright, I'm done. Zoom. And the poll was tied. I'll be the tiebreaker. I'm not going to rename the ship. Alright, so now that I'm going to be looking for torch drive signatures off these ships. Which, with that in mind, none of the ships around me have... I am surprised this one's not reading... Wait, do I have... Hold on, what do I have? I have optical sensor. Oh, you know what? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Hold on 1 minute. I have not been fairly assessing these ships, like, at all. Because, I don't have the sensor I would need to have installed on to be able to tell that. Derp. Alright, where am I going to be... Do I have... cables anywhere? Power cables. I should have cannibalized a few off that last ship. I'm gonna also empty out my dolly, because it's gonna be easier for me to loot stuff with an empty dolly. Alright, I'll cannibalize these conduit, because they're not actually plugged into anything. So I'm adding more sensors so I can actually see what I'm connecting to. I restored that, yeah? Okay, good. Alright. Zoom in on my ship. And now... Because basically, I clicked on this thing, and I knew this form factor, so I knew it had a reactor. But because I didn't have my IR sensor installed, it wasn't telling me as such. So I was like, wait a second. Sus. Super sus. Because that is that's a ship with a very obvious reactor on it. Alright, let's do it. Let's go board that reactor ship and hope it has more parts we need. And while we're in the ship, because it's pressurized, I really don't need my helmet on. Also, let's put the other Weber laser torch down and scrap fiber, I guess. I can even put my flask away because I don't often require water. And we're moving there. Okay. I'll try to be busy, look busy at least, while I auto-task to there, repairing stuff. So in order to repair the Hydra, I'm going to need... hopefully this next wreck will have the components I need to repair this thing. More than likely that will be the case. So the other nav stations are pretty valuable. If you click on stuff, you'll actually see it's like rough estimation, even without the price visor. Anything like $4 or $5 signs is worth a fair bit. I.e., grab it if you're trying to make money. Some of the $3 sign items are worth a lot, some aren't, and you just need like game knowledge to know which is which. That's one of those like, it comes with time. Where are we in relation to our target? A bit of ways out. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm not, however, looking for feedback. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Stay safe out there, flying around K-Leg.